Good morning, this is Wang Yiqing, Z5121121, presenting my video reflection for the Specialized Translation course. My reflection will first give an introduction to the background, show how I fit into the requirements of the Specialized Translator at the European Commission. Then I will talk about my experience in specialized translation. Finally, I'm going to critically analyze my professional development and what I plan to do in the next stage. My introduction. I have a background in English translation with an undergraduate from Chengdu Institute, Sichuan International Study University in Chengdu, China. I am currently studying for Master in English Translation and Interpreting in the University of New South Wales in Sydney. I have been studying English for over 10 years, and my lot is Chinese. Why I fit into the advertised profile? Well, I wish I can fit into the advertised profile as a specialized translator with European Commission. Thanks to my undergraduate and now postgraduate study, I have achieved some progresses in bilingual skills and translation techniques, and with a familiarization in both Chinese and English culture. More important, I have experience in a great variety of source texts, such as in community, medical, technical, and legal areas, resulting in the wide variety of texts that I have translated. I'm able to conduct material research effectively, organize my translation quickly, revise my translation text accurately, and communicate with clients amiably. Moreover, I have a quite good interpersonal interaction skills and an introductory knowledge of EU policies. Furthermore, I used to be an editor of a magazine. I have experience of editing books, so I'm able to work under pressure of the changing deadlines and the changes in personnel. My experience. In terms of expertise and my experience, I have got exposure with various of texts, including legal contract and documents, medical notifications, technical descriptions, etc. Though the texts are across topics and styles, I could maintain a professional level of quality in each translation by using different languages and terminologies. Here are some examples of specialized texts that I worked with recently. This is a commercial advertisement, and this is a legal document, and this is a medical device instruction. And these are examples of my weekly reflection with highlights and revision. Translation process. Now I'd like to talk about the process of translation. First of all, I need to read the whole text to get the general idea and understand the topic. For instance, in this stage, I have to become aware of the clients or the audience, like, is the translation is for the public or for some experts? I need to ask myself this question because this may decide whether I should use technical terms in the translation or just use normal words. Then I should be aware of the purpose of the translation, be aware of where the text comes from, the quantity of the work, and the deadline. The next step is to translate. During translation, I should analyze the source text sentence by sentence to make sure that my translation is accurate and faithful to the source text. After translation, the target text needs to be checked over and over again and then revised. Translation techniques. Then I'm going to talk about translation techniques. There are lots of techniques we use in specialized translation. The direct translation techniques, for example, literal translation, borrowing, calc. As for the indirect translation techniques, for example, transposition, modulation, and reformulation, which you can also call equivalence. In real life, these techniques are not to be used singly. You may use several techniques together in one translation. Here are some examples of translation techniques. It's raining cats and dogs. 在下倾盆大雨 means it's raining heavily in Chinese. In this translation, we use reformulation, or you can say equivalence. Another example is, she loves sushi so much that she ate 5 nigiri yesterday. 她很喜欢吃寿司，昨天吃了5片生鱼片。In this translation, we use borrowing to translate sushi, which means 寿司 in Chinese. Resources. In terms of trusted resources, I suggest governments and official organizations' websites because they are the most useful and reliable sources. For example, when I translated the pacemaker instruction, I found the official website of Medtronic. It gave me a more specific explanation of pacemaker. These resources are provided or easily accessible on the internet. Other resources like published books written by scholars are good choices too. My development. From the beginning of the course, I identified that only well prepared can the translator produce good translation. The preparation includes the search of the online resources, the search of background information and parallel texts, the search of terminologies. I realized that related knowledge is the key point of understanding and translating the text. Feedback from my tutors and peers. Moreover, my tutors and friends helped me to correct grammatical problems, syntax problems, and fluent problems. They identified me that even if the target text is not 100% accurate, as long as it doesn't have fluent problems, the translation can be identified as an acceptable one. Then we need to minimize the grammatical problems as much as possible and try our best to let the translation look like one original text. Therefore, I need to concentrate on 2 things in my translation in the next step: background information and fluency. Next stage. In the next stage, I'd like to pay more attention to terminologies and background information searching, especially in commercial area. Only understand the context and the background can produce a qualified translation. More important, I need to prepare myself in accreditation tests, for example, NATI. I need to have an intimate knowledge of its criteria and standard and requirements. These are the references of my PPT, and this is my contact details. Thank you so much.